Well, that is
Time to call this meeting to order to Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the Mr. Teague. It is Dr. Teague.
Okay, I'm on. Thank you, God, for our opportunities in Rotary today. We give special thanks for the visit of our district governor and his service to Rotary. We ask as we enjoy our fellowship for growth and service to others, both local and international, and to give strength to the ideals of Rotary. Amen.
Amen. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And David has a song or songs for us.
Actually, I have a couple songs today to honor the visit of our district governor, Raj. We are going to sing the first verse of number 1, "Oh America," and then we're going to sing number 5, "Oh Canada." We've got a unique district in our Rotary family, District 50-50, 50% in Canada, 50% here. So it's really a great partnership, and so in honor of your presence here. So let's start with number 1, America. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And number 5, "Oh Canada." Oh Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Welcome, welcome, District Governor.
Okay. Do we have any guests today? Any guests today? Mr. Janicki?
I have with me Niall, my chainsaw carving companion. Niall.
Welcome, Niall. And he does say that you're getting better. He says you're getting better. Yeah. Any other guests? Okay, visiting Rotarians. Carl, would you like to introduce?
There you go.
Well, we have our district governor who will be introduced later. But the person that will do that is my good friend Stephanie Hooper. She's in charge of marketing. Is that right for the district? But you're also or you were. No, it's what it says marketing right on there. Well, that's your classification. If you need any marketing materials, she's where to get it. She is the assistant district governor for our area, taking over for Becky LD. So please welcome Stephanie.
Welcome, Stephanie. And thank you. Anybody else? Okay, some club business quick. I first want to, if you're Team January, stand and let us know where you're at. Let's give a hand for Team January. Nice job, everybody. Thank you very much. I've already talked to Wayne Barrett. Team February is ready to go. Is that right, Wayne? Okay, some help, but he's ready to go. Crystal ball. So it's becoming that time of year. Daryl returned his trophy. I've got my trophy. So we're going to see what happens. Daryl and I decided we're just going to switch. Well, he'll get it'll be easy that way. We'll go from there. All right. So if you want to get involved with crystal ball and do all of that prediction and stuff, it's always fun. Welcome, Raj. We'll introduce you a little bit later. Dictionaries, Curtis. We're just about ready to go. Do you want to say a little word on that?
It's always when you have a mouthful.
All right, the assignments are out. So as far as I know, everything is going as planned. So thank you very much. And I'll be looking forward for your feedback from those who are working on the dictionaries. So
Curtis, thank you very much for coordinating that. Appreciate it. One last, well, not the last, but February 23rd, still the Centennial Anacortes dinner celebration in February. If you are willing to go. Did you get an invitation yet?
I got from Dwayne. I'm already signed up.
Okay, you already said that.
If you want to go, you and there are going, you got me to have the fun together.
Okay, thanks, Carl. And Christine, I know she's not here unless she snuck in the back door.
Zoom.
Christine, are you there? Oh, she is. I heard she did such a great job while I was in Yuma last week. Sunny Yuma, beautiful. Got out to Mexico, swap meets. Didn't get to do any golfing. We're going to go back and do some of that, but it was fun. I heard that she did such a great job. You guys are just ready to push me aside already. Christine, thank you very much. Okay, and board meeting is a little different date in February. It's not the second Tuesday. It's going to be the third Tuesday for the board meeting next in February. Is there any other club business you'd like to bring to the table? Tim Allen. I think he's going to talk a little bit about the auction, and we have an auction meeting tonight at 5:30 at the library, and we're looking for sponsors. Isn't that right, Tim?
That's right. And and John is working on it now, and we've got Tomas and myself. So get in touch with one of us and we'll get you lined up with everything. We've got a couple of folks that are looking at it right in this club now. So that's really good. And anybody else that is interested in sponsoring, be sure to come forward and let me know, and we'll get that done. Big meeting tonight. We're trying to get the more people there, the better. There are some coordinating issues that are hard to do over email. So if you can make it, definitely get on over there to the library and we'll go from there and try to get some of that going. So things are developing. If you have any ideas, any thoughts, definitely let me know. We're working really hard to get some nice big live auction items. Again, get with Rich. He's the master of that. And we'll do what we can on that. We've got Travis and Tim working on the silent auction items. So those are the guys to talk to there. And we'll go from there. So tonight,
One question first, Tim, and has anybody brought any silent auction items in yet? You guys are collecting over there at your office, right? Okay, good answer. So, but we need more. Okay,
excellent.
everybody is responsible for how many?
3.
3.
And that's a
Okay.
big deal. We've been doing better the last couple, or last auction, we did better on the silent auctions items, a number of them, but we're still pretty short of what we used to do prior to COVID. So if we can get that built up, that would be great.
Thanks,
Okay,
Tim.
thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Today, 5:30 library. Any other club business?
I just will
Jeff?
just remind everybody that's on my committee that I think today is the last day of the semester. So we should be getting our applications for the scholarship soon. So as soon as I get those, I'll be communicating with you.
Terrific. Anything else? Okay, let's move on. We have a raffle. David and Jeff.
Oh. We'll do 4, okay. 4. So the first is blue. I guess we're gonna go with 9. Might be a 6, but I think we're gonna go with 9.
Les. Yay, Les.
Thank you.
Magnolia Grill, $25.
Nice.
All right.
There you go.
So number 10, blue 10.
Curtis.
Yeah, well, we just pulled them all on top of each other.
Yes, he did.
That was the quick.
I'll
So,
bet, I'll bet Chris sat in the front row in school.
53, 5-3. All right, well, spin for Curtis.
Ben, or should I donate a bottle of wine to the next person?
Come on, wine. Here. So you get your money back. There you go, your money back. We'll call it even. And N34, 3-4.
Carl.
Wine and cheese.
It does have to age just a little bit for it to be really good. Is that it?
All right.
Okay, Jeff, Sergeant of Arms.
Okay, so today we're gonna be positive instead of punitive. So we're just gonna try to go right to Happy Bucks because I know we have a very important speaker today and I want to make sure we give him plenty of time. So as long as people are happy and as long as people are generous, I won't find anybody. So, okay, here we go.
Well, I have 5 happy bucks, 5 sad bucks, $5 happy that I got to play golf in Oregon for last week, and 5 sad bucks for my scores.
There you go.
All right, there we go. Let's see, I'm gonna see some hands go up or else we will have to be punitive.
Happy, but for a couple of things. First of all, my New Year's resolution was to be nice to Mike. So I'm still on the right side there for another month or so. Oh, yeah, I'm happy that I have Maggie is working for us and she's solving an extremely technical problem in our trusses that we're putting up in Hamilton. We had a problem with hydrogen embrittlement. See, I learned a couple of words and stuff, so that's a really good thing. But it's a bad thing. Yeah, whatever. We got bolts that are falling off and whatever, but we're all good. So on Monday, they're gonna set the first trusses. And anyone that's driven past Highway 20, it's gonna look really cool. Okay?
Thank you.
That's generous.
I've got a happy 20 for getting to go to Honduras with the International Project Alliance, leaving Monday night for the red eye. But 3 weeks in Honduras with a few days out on Roatan, the Caribbean island at the end. The only bad news is I looked at the weather report and it's supposed to be 70 degrees and raining every day for a week.
Nice.
Got a happy $5 for Team January. Great job, Team January. It's really been fun. We've had some great programs and a good group. So that's it. I'm happy it's over. Good luck, Wayne. Good luck.
I just got 10 because I'm happy.
Good.
All right, anybody else? Oh, there we go.
I have a happy 5. My sister reached out to me and we planned a last minute trip to go visit our cousin in Colorado to go skiing. So.
All right. Well, if you haven't paid anything now, toss in $1 and share in the happiness of everybody else.
Jeff, I got a happy 50 for the 50-50 governor that's here today, Barrage. Okay, anything else around raffle? Okay, Stephanie, you are up. That leads us to our introduction of our program with Governor Raj.
Okay. All right. I can hear myself. I'm assuming you can hear me. This is an impressive introduction. As I was reading it, I just can't even believe this man must be 300 years old, all the things he's done. Right? Close. There we go. Okay. I have to turn sideways to read this. Raj was born in the south of India. He has a Bachelor of Civil Engineering degree and a master's in hydraulic engineering from India and a master's in mechanics and hydraulics from United States. He came to Canada in 1973 and now lives in White Rock. He is retired, but still provides worldwide assistance in subjects of his expertise. Raj has an extensive experience at senior levels in the World Bank, United Nations, specialized agencies, and the private sector. His experience includes working on sustainable, large-scale water resources development and management projects, such as irrigation and hydropower. In many countries, he's done this, including Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cameroon, Canada, China, Ethiopia, Ghana, India, Moldova, Mongolia, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Tanzania, Thailand, Turkey, United States, and Vietnam. Raj is director of the Sources Foundation in White Rock, which operates various facilities to meet the needs of the community. He is a director of New Bridge Academy, helping to build bridges between the incoming Chinese immigrant community and area residents. Raj joined the Rotary Club of White Rock in 2014 under the classification of International Water Resources Development and Management and was club president in 2016-17. Raj is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and a major donor to the Rotary Foundation. He is chair of the Canada-Tanzania Inter-County Cultural Committee of Rotary International. He is also a member of 3 Rotary action groups: water and sanitation, environmental sustainability, and honoring Indigenous people, as well as a member of the Whiskey Dram Rotary Fellowship Group. Yeah, and I was going to say, after all that, you probably do need a glass of that. Raj enjoys trekking and general hiking. He climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in the 80s and trekked up to the base camp of Mount Everest 10 years ago. Please join me in welcoming our district governor, Raj.
Yeah, okay. Everybody can hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Raj. I have a long name. I don't want anybody to be in pain trying to pronounce my name. It'll be painful to you and it'll be painful for me as well. So it's a lot easier if everybody calls me Raj. I have a very good friend, old friend here, Carl Garrison, and I, we know each other for almost the number of years I have been in Rotary. I'm a rookie to the Rotary. I've been in Rotary only for 8 years now. Anyway, I got this job because of my work all over the world, and Stephanie read it. And I'm not going to talk about membership and Rotary Foundation donations and stuff like that. I think you have very senior members in this club who know all about it, and that's not my intent to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a little bit on 3 themes, which will be also the themes for the Rotary Annual District Conference, which is on May 5, 6, and 7. It will be in Canada. It'll be easier to reach because it's just off the highway. It's at the Sheraton Guildford Hotel. And we have an interesting program. I'm sure that's what every district governor tells you, but I really mean it this time. I really think we have an interesting program, as you will see as I speak. There are three themes that I would like to talk about on environment, peace, and DEI. Any preference you have? Which topic you want to hear first? Environment, peace, DEI? No preference? But your president said that you have a number of veterans in this club. So let me start with peace, because who wants peace more than anyone else is the soldier. Active duty soldier or a retired soldier or a first responder. I worked in Afghanistan, as we started with. I was not a soldier. I was an engineer building dams, and but I had protection. I had 24/7 protection of 1 US Marine and 1 NATO Marine. And I have seen death and destruction firsthand. I'll tell you one little story. Because I am from the World Bank and I was there for the World Bank, I had access to a lot of resources. And one thing happened once, many things happened. One thing was when I was in Bamyan, where the Buddha statues were there, which were demolished by the Taliban. Afghanistan was divided amongst NATO members and the allies by each country will take 1 province, okay? So the Bamyan province was being guarded, being secured, and some development activity went on with the soldiers from New Zealand. And when I was there, one of the visitors, they said, I heard that one of the soldiers had stepped on an IED and was blown apart. And you hear about this, you think, oh, somebody died because they stepped on the IED. But the commanding officer came to me and he said, Raj, will you take the body back to Kabul to be flown to New Zealand? I said, yeah, I can do that. I'm going tomorrow morning. So, and I was there waiting at the airfield for a casket to arrive. The body arrived in a small cardboard box. Just imagine, these were kids, 21, 22-year-old kids far away from home, being sent in a small cardboard box to the parents who have nothing to do with Afghanistan, who don't probably even know where Afghanistan is. So these are the type of things that open your eyes. And so what the hell am I doing here? And what the hell are these guys doing there? And that's why I would like to start with the theme on peace. Peace is not a new theme to Rotary. I'm not talking about peace because of Ukraine-Russian war. Rotary has always talked about peace, promoting peace. You look at the four-way test, or you look at the object of Rotary, it talks about peace, goodwill, and understanding amongst communities. And if you are not aware, when the World War II was over, the Allies met in San Francisco, 1945, to charter the United Nations because the League of Nations had collapsed. And Rotary International was one of the 42 official delegations of the United States government for that. So we have been responsible in writing the Charter of Rights, in all kinds of stuff. And to this day, we have a special place in the United Nations. And if you go to New York on a tourism or a business trip, please go to the UN headquarters. Not because I was working there, but anyway, please go there. And you will see a special place for Rotary International. And every year, United Nations celebrates one day as the Rotary International Day. And the president of Rotary travels from Chicago to New York because United Nations is a slightly little bigger boys than Rotary, to talk about peace. And why the UN wants Rotary? They got 1.4 million members who firmly believe in peace and understanding. So we have a special place. Now, why we are talking about this peace now amongst ourselves, amongst our communities, due to the pandemic, a lot of people have been isolated. They have not seen their relatives. They have not seen their friends. And we are human beings. We are social animals. We need company. We need to meet in person. We have met on Zoom for a long time. And this has led to a lot of frustration amongst people. And on top of that, there have been a lot of layoffs. People have lost their jobs, and resulting in domestic problems. I'm a member of Sources, which is a community organization looking at mental health issues, looking at divorce issues in our community. And our load on our mental health specialists has just boomeranged. We can't keep up. We can't meet the requirements. And this has resulted in divorces, domestic abuse, leading to some violence in the streets as well. So we are finding ourselves in a situation where peace is more needed in our own communities and also with our veterans. When I started talking about this in oh God, it looks like almost years ago, but my first visit was to South Whidbey Island. And South Whidbey Island has two veterans. One is a retired Lieutenant General of the US Air Force. He was serving in Korea. And the other one was retired officer from the US Defense Forces, Army. And he was air attaché to the US Embassy in Korea. And so we started talking about what do we do with returning soldiers from Afghanistan, for instance. And both sides of the border, soldiers returning from Afghanistan suffer from post-traumatic stress disorders. And you can imagine this, if I was seeing this kind of deaths, these guys were seeing it every day. I just saw it only when I went on a visit, when I went to supervise something that was going on. And the suicide rate amongst the veterans returning from Afghanistan is higher on the United States side than on the Canadian side, but it is there. And another fact is that the veterans do not go to the US Veterans Administration because they don't have that much faith in them. And it is the same on the Canadian side as well. So when we started talking about this, a member from Whitby West Side said, I know people from the US Veterans Administration. Do you want to talk with them? I said, why not? So we started this conversation about 2 months ago. And then now, that's why I said to Carl, I said to Stephanie, that until I sign something, I don't want to say, these are the guys that are going to be there in May 5, 6, and 7. And then if they don't show up, I'll be in deep shit. I'm an engineer. If you hear salty language, pardon me. I'm sure Carl does the same thing. Yeah, come on. But so they came back, and one other district has done this, Napa Valley in California, and another district near Maine on the eastern seaboard. And the US Veterans Administration came and said, okay, we wish to work with District 50/50. We want to have a partnership with you, and let us see how we can help the US veterans, okay? So we continued this conversation for the last 2 months, and we are coming close to signing something, an agreement or some MOU. We will try to base it similar to what Napa Valley has done, because that's something that's gone on, so we can learn from them and maybe improve or whatever. And now the US Veterans Administration will be there at the district conference at some senior level to talk about this relationship. And based on that, I am now trying to push the Canadian side, since it is my own country, and the Department of Veterans Affairs to talk to us and to send some senior representation to the district conference to talk about peace. And I'm sure you have people who have experienced post-traumatic stress disorder either in your own family or in a friend's family, or you know a friend who knows a friend. It is personal when you talk to these people. We financed something in Canada for the returning veterans, a project, basically building areas where their family can stay when the person is undergoing treatment, psychological treatment. And I can tell you, at least one of them I know, now he's better. Peaceful Canada, he will not throw out his garbage coming out of his house because he thought there was an IED in the garbage container outside. So he'll go around the block 3 times before he will throw the thing. And we talked to him. And the interesting thing, what's interesting, why we want to talk about this is that these are very well-trained individuals. I mean, we spend millions of dollars training the armed forces, training individuals. And all of a sudden, we ignore them. And we don't take advantage of what they can offer. They don't have to be members of the Rotary, but we can work with such people to help us in our own projects, in designing our own projects. So that's going to be one of the themes of the district conference as well, peace. Any questions? No question, okay. Clear as mud, okay. Now, let me go to environment. Environment, okay, and there is all kinds of controversial topics on environment. But environment, I spoke to a Rear Admiral of the Canadian Navy, and he said, because I was inviting him to come and give a speech at one of the clubs on the Canadian side. And he said, environment is a national security issue. So I will come and I'll speak to you guys. Some guy put up there, why is it a national security issue? Well, if water level rises in Bangladesh, kill 1 million Bangladeshis, then that whole bunch of people are going to come as immigrants or refugees to all the other countries. And that's going to create a lot of problems, even if they are willing to work. So then that's how it becomes a national security issue.
And whether you believe in climate change or not, I don't care, because those are controversial subjects. The only thing I know is that there are floods happening where there were no floods before, and the droughts happening where there were no droughts before, or limited amount of droughts before. So we have to address the issue of how the Rotarians can assist communities. We have now a disaster management response grant for Abbotsford in Canada, Whatcom County in Washington State, and Chilliwack, Canada, 3. And these are projects for which the clubs don't have to put up any money. The district doesn't have to put up any money. Rotary International provides the money to do these projects. Only restriction is you can only do one grant at a time. Until that grant is finished, your district will not get any money from the Rotary International. Yes, sir. Abbotsford is flood. Whatcom County is also flood of last year, 2022. Yeah. And Chilliwack is both flood and landslides, stuff like that. Yeah. And it's not a huge amount of money, but it's still something. 25,000 US dollars is nothing to snicker about. So the environment, besides being sustainable environment and stuff like that, besides affecting local farmers and in their yields of products, whatever, it is also a national security issue. So it connects to the peace concept as well. And as you know, this year, environment became the 7th focus area of the Rotary Foundation. Who's the Rotary Foundation chair? Oh, anyway, so what the difference? The difference is that from this year, you can actually apply for a district grant or a global grant for an environmental project. Most of the projects we do has some environmental component, but now you can have a large scale environmental project, and that will be financed. An environmental project, Carl is the big guy here, and he knows water supply, water treatment, they all become part of waste management, and waste management is a major aspect of environmental issue. And it's a money-making stuff. It's not that you have to dump money. If you do proper waste management, solid waste management project, it'll pay for itself. But how do you do that? How do you go about doing that? So you're just being provocative here a little bit. That's what can we do in the community that we haven't done before, or we are not doing it in a large scale? What can we do now? That's the whole idea. And depending upon your requirements, we can work on that. So for the environment, for example, we are getting 2 engineers from Canadian side who are working on these issues. So they are actually practicing engineers and practicing scientists, not some, shall we say, somewhat quanky guys who will create some controversial subjects and talk about this and that, but somebody who will give us some specifics so we can talk about specifics rather than some concepts. And we have, I believe, as of this morning, Rick Hughes from San Juan Islands has confirmed that your commissioner, Washington State Commissioner for Public Lands Administration, will be a speaker at our district conference. So we're trying to get both the Washington and Canadian side kind of balanced, if we can, so that we can hear different viewpoints at the same time. And that's all I'm going. And then we are also now encouraging forming of new clubs which are based on certain focus areas. And we have been talking about creating peace clubs. I would like to have 4 peace clubs, 2 peace clubs, one on the southern side of the border, one on the northern side of the border. And many peace clubs have been started by veterans in Florida, because that's a retirement capital for the US. So you have a lot of veterans there, senior level officers as well as soldiers. And the concept is, how do we bring the veterans into the community, how we work with them, how we take advantage of their capabilities, and how they can work with us and take advantage of our capabilities. And similarly for the environment, we wanted to start focus clubs. And there's an environmental club in Puget Sound, which is next district. And I said, if there can be an environmental club in Puget Sound, why not in District 50/50? So we started talking to different people, and they started and they have formed one environmental club on the Canadian side. It's in my area. And that's the last club I'm going to visit, Stephanie, this evening. And it's called the Rotary Club of Nature Celebrators. And before anybody gets any idea, it's not a nudist club. It is a Rotary Club. And the name came out to be that way because and when you start a new club, you have to get the permission of Rotary International to use a particular name. And unless they approve it, you will not be authorized to open that club. So they started with Rotary Club of Nature Lovers and didn't work. Rotary International is very risk averse. They are very, very careful that somebody will not sue them later saying that you have stolen our copyrighted name or part of a name. So, and then these negotiations between the club and the Rotary in Chicago takes a few weeks every time. And then they changed it to Rotary Club of Nature Guardians and didn't go through. And then they changed the name from English to French. After all, we are French in Canada, so they made the same Nature Guardian. They thought that nobody will know French and Rotary in Chicago, so we'll pass through. But as you know, we have district support staff in Chicago. She's Sophie Dangerfield, and she was born and brought up in Montreal. So French is her first language. So Pat came the reply, guys, don't try to fool us, do something. And then they ended up with this Nature Celebrators. And their idea is to work on environmental projects, but also on community projects. And the club has been in for the last 3 months or so. So we'll see how they proceed. On the American side, Brian Hennessy from the Ferndale Club and Alan Stockbridge, who used to be in Bellingham Club, but now he's in the Passport Club. They are interested and they are looking at ways to set up an environmental focus club. So if anybody here wants to set up, not to steal members from this club, but outside people, then we can work with you. It's very simple to start a new club. All you need is 20 devoted persons who want to be in the Rotary. That's all it needs. Any questions on the environment? I think I'm being very, very clear in all my themes. Okay, the last one is the elephant in the middle of the room, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusivity. Everybody thinks as soon as the word DEI is mentioned, it's about race, religion, and color. I don't think so. That may be there, But it's a broader thing. What about people with disabilities, either visible disabilities or invisible disabilities? Are we, again, the same thing like the veterans? Are we working towards helping these people? Are we taking advantage of these people? And this is where you wanted me to say a few words about the World Bank, not directly related to the bank. We started looking at people who are in wheelchairs, either by birth, by some medical condition, or through an accident later on in life. People are in wheelchairs. So are we doing anything for people in wheelchairs? Carl, we started this experiment in the World Bank in 2003. We said, okay, we have 10,000 people in the headquarters in Washington, DC. We said we'll provide 1,000 wheelchairs on the ground floor. When you come to work, if you want to do your work, sitting in a wheelchair, go ahead. And the bank is extremely accessible. That's not at all an issue. But we were trying to see, okay, I give you accessibility, I give you the finest wheelchair you can get, and go ahead and do your job. And at the evening, we asked them whether they were able to finish their jobs. As you know, that we work on many different countries. We're running between pillar to post, going from this meeting or that meeting, or whatever. And you will hear me, even me, shouting, hey, hold that elevator. I got to go to that meeting. You can't do that if you're sitting in a wheelchair, and they didn't. So what happened was accessibility was there, but the processes were not sufficient to actually take advantage of given the accessibility. And like in the 90s, when we had accessibility to use the sidewalks and then cross the streets with a wheelchair or with some other, we ran a lot of experiments at that time in all the universities, Great Britain, United States, Canada, Australia, most of the English-speaking countries that I know of. As to what is the time required for a person to cross the street? Is it 12 seconds, 15 seconds? What's the average time? Then we said, okay, you have to increase the time to make sure that a person with a disability can cross. That then became an economic issue as well, because we said, okay, it's 18 seconds, let's say. That meant 6 additional seconds. 6 additional seconds, cars are sitting on all sides, burning gas and spending money. So we said, no, we can't just give you 6 seconds. So we have to optimize this to a certain level without killing anybody crossing the street. And then we came up with a certain amount of seconds. And then all the traffic lights in the United States, Canada, Britain, were all reprogrammed to allow for this difference in the time. So when you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusivity, it talks about, you should think about these things as well. As, okay, I can give a person a wheelchair and go home saying I feel comfortable. The person now is mobile, but can that person do an effective job? In Canada, they started this year, the federal government, a new position, Chief Accessibility Officer. And she's Stephanie Cadu. She happens to live in our district. So I was able to grab her for our district conference. She has been in a wheelchair since she was 15 years old, but she has been very effective. She has been a cabinet minister. She has been a very successful community volunteer. She has done a lot of good work. So she will talk to us again, firsthand, not somebody talking from a university level or whatever. When we spoke about this, your Arlington Assistant Governor, Dwayne Rhodes, he got all excited and he said, what about other disabilities? And I said, yeah, we have 2,300 Rotarians in District 5050, not a single one is a blind person. So he said, I know a couple of blind people who can come and explain to us what it means to be a blind person, but actually fully effective. So we have confirmed now a blind lawyer couple from Oregon who are going to come and join us for this theme on diversity, equity, and inclusivity. Similarly, I have one person I'm trying to get, and I'm sure I'll get, a person with hearing disability. And hearing disability, I know in India, if somebody tells me somebody is a little deaf, my initial inclination is shout, hello, can you hear me? Right? And then that's it. I don't know anything else about that. And until I started doing some research on that, and then realized that the sound waves that are going from your eardrums to the brain, they are affected. And therefore, there's a time delay before that person understands, even though if he can hear you, before he can understand and react to what you said. And this happened to me when I was inducting a hearing impaired person in Chilliwack, Fraser. And I felt so stupid because I normally say, I recite the 4-way test and I say, do you agree? And this person was getting very agitated because he did not know what to say. And I apologized to the president of the club. I said, sir, I don't know what I said, but obviously I have upset this gentleman. He went and sat at his table. About 2 minutes later, he got up and he said, yeah, I agree. And what's going on here? Then they told me that there are apps available on your cell phone now that will quickly translate it to that person. And so I thought, oh, I didn't know that. So let me get this gentleman to come and talk about it. This is diversity, equity, and inclusivity. It's not just about race, religion, and color. Maybe for some people it's a big issue, but it's a much broader theme. I think my time is coming up, right? Yeah. So I will stop there. If you have any questions or if you want to start new clubs, I will leave my visiting card with the president. Please contact me and we will help you or help your friends outside of Rotary to start some new Rotary clubs which have certain focus themes, because when people are passionate about a particular theme, they tend to work very well together. Every Rotary club, believe me, District Governor, I know, every Rotary club has some problem or the other. Some clubs it blows up and then it comes to the district level. And we can do nothing about it anyway, but it comes to us. So we know. But if people are passionate about a topic, then they tend to work together. So if anyone is interested in the environment, peace, and DEI as seen by me, please contact me, okay? Now I have two individuals. Every time, as you know, when a district governor comes on a visit, we always request the clubs to tell us if there's any special recognition for one or two of their members. And your president has chosen Sheena Burns. Is she here? Yes. And Don Ostrom. Congratulations for the recognition your club is bestowing on you. Normally we give a pin, but this year I decided that pins are no good because it will go into somebody's cup or some glass bowl somewhere. So we're going to give a certificate from the district and I will mail it to you. But what it says here is Sheena. It says Sheena always says yes. She has been a board member and is now the club secretary. She does a lot of work behind the scenes in support of every member and every event of our club. So congratulations. And Don has been a member since 1987. You're probably a charter member. He attends every meeting and has volunteered to open, set up, and close the facility each week. Don is one of our longtime and highly respected members that models what it means to be a Rotarian. With that, I am done. Thank you.
Raj, thank you very much. And thank you for recognizing our members, Sheena and Don. They're surely worthy of recognition to our club. District Governor Raj and I have exchanged banners. So this is our newest banner that Raj brought in for us. So I think with David's permission, like that. And there we go. And Raj, in honor of you coming and being our program today and speaking to us, we do have a Rotary pin from Sedro Woolley Rotary, the greatest Rotary club in the world, in the universe, I mean. Raj has agreed to stay a few minutes after if you want to stick around and talk with him a little bit. We do have a few board members that'll be here. And then we're going to tour him on a couple of our Rotary projects down at the river and Patrick's Playground and a couple of other things. So Raj, once again, thank you very much for coming. And Stephanie, thank you for coming. We do have a parting gift for you as well from the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club. Like to thank Christine one more time for her duty last week. Niall, thank you for coming and attending. We hope that you become a member soon. Stephanie and Raj, we already thanked you. I don't have any other business unless somebody else. Okay, with that, I'll close our noon meeting for the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the